workshop on the UN Human Security Trust Fund Joint Program is very critical to the OECS in terms of the work that we're doing on supporting the movement of persons. And the reason for this has a lot to do with the ultimate aim of the revised Treaty of Bastia, which focuses on enhancing the movement of productive resources, which include people, capital, service providers, enterprises, as well as goods. In the context of movement of people, we've been advancing a relatively successful free movement of persons regime that allows persons to enter one protocol member state to another with the use of a government-issued ID and to be granted indefinite stay upon arrival. And added to that, that allows for access to available employment by virtue of the removal of work permit requirements for citizens of these protocol member states. In the context of environmental disasters, we've recognized that the OECS free movement regime within the context of the Economic Union has proven to be a rather effective arrangement that supports not just the movement of persons for the purpose of employment and settlement outside of environmental forced movements, but also as an extension, provides an already established arrangement to support environmental movements. And we say that because we saw how effective the arrangement was in addressing the Hurricane Maria disaster in Dominica in 2017. Because on one hand, it did allow for greater movement of Dominicans and resettlement, if you like, in countries such as Antigua and Barbuda, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and Grenadines, to name a few. But on the flip side, it also allowed for easy movement of workers, especially in the construction field, where at the time in the post-disaster period, Dominica had a high demand for workers to support the rebuilding effort. And again, the regime provided that level of support. It means that as we look at the outcome from the UN Human Security Trust Joint Program, that we begin to look at how the outcomes of this program can continue to strengthen what we already have in the context of the free movement of persons regime. One key area of note is the cross-border protocols that have been developed that can be utilized to address the needs for common policies on how you treat the receiving of environmental migrants and generally our citizens who've moved because of an environmental disaster. And the whole issue of strengthening capacity of member states to receive persons, to provide the adequate treatment, the shelter, the food and other requirements that typically can be expanded and developed in those cross-border protocols would be of good utility to the free movement of persons regime. And in addition to that, it also adds, if you like, to and complements existing efforts by the Oasis Commission to strengthen border officials' capacity in dealing with cross-border movement in times of disasters, and consequently in addressing the needs of environmental migrants. The Oasis Commission, over the past few years, in collaboration with several international development partners dealing with issues of migration, including the IOM, the UNHCR, the Platform Disaster Displacement, GIZ, CDIMA, CARICOM Impacts, have coordinated to a large extent and successfully these training program. So in one way, the training program have addressed certain needs, and on, on the other hand, this particular human security trust fund joint program has in fact allowed for addressing other gaps that the capacity building training have not been able to address. And so I think on the whole, this joint program supports fundamentally what we're trying to do at the OECS level with respect to ensuring that we have a robust free movement persons regime. And we're very pleased with a lot of the outcomes of this program. We look forward certainly to the regional workshop. Certainly in those engagements, member states delegates will certainly provide their experiences that would certainly help shape the final product of this particular joint program. So for this, we are much grateful and certainly looking forward to the finalization of this joint program.